In today's session, we're going to talk about a shift that many of you are already seeing take root in the MSP space. We're talking about moving beyond automation into something smarter, faster, and more scalable, autonomous service. My hope is that today, you'll walk away with a clear picture of what that means, what it looks like in practice, and how MSPs like you are already making it real today. So let's start with the pressure that you're undoubtedly already feeling. Labor costs continue to rise. You know it's hard to hang on to those really good colleagues within your organization. Clients expect faster service, and the tech stack that you use to provide that service is growing more and more complex each and every day. Through ConnectWise's service leadership data, we know this is not a temporary spike. It's a systematic shift. Complexity is outpacing capacity, and we have to figure out a way to catch up. At ConnectWise, we do a poll every year to our partner base, asking them about their top challenges. And many of the challenges that you see on the screen remain consistent year in and year out. And I'm sure many of you can relate to this. Being more operationally efficient. Yep, of course, every year. Capturing new business. And more recently, building a cybersecurity practice. Like I said, for the past 10 years, these tend to remain fairly consistent. However, this past year, we saw a new challenge enter the equation, and that's the utilization of AI, both within your business as a service provider and with your SMB customers. And if you think about it, as if your teams didn't have enough already that they had to worry about, now they're trying to figure out how they fit in this autonomous service age. The average technician is touching more than 200 tickets per month. Most of it's manual, most of it's disconnected, and a large majority of it is completely reactive. Now, you didn't build your business because you wanted to babysit alerts. You built your business because you love technology. But the reality is that many of your teams are just like this person here. Multiple screens, multiple apps running at the same time. And yes, of course, AI has entered the chat, but too often, it's just another point solution. A tool here, a chatbot there. The reality, AI by itself doesn't solve the execution gap. It needs orchestration. It needs coordination. It needs intelligent action. This is where we introduce a new model, autonomous service. It's not just automation. It's frictionless detection, resolution, and restoration, done at lightning speed without having to have someone sitting in a swivel chair in your office. Rise of synthetic workers is already here, as I showed you on the previous screen. But this needs to be implemented within your business. To help with that implementation, we've identified 3 different tiers. Tier 1, the first one, automation. This is where you're using AI for auto-categorization, ticket summarization, AI-generated scripts, RMM auto-remediation. Many of you in the room are probably already using some version of AI to do this today. The next tier is intelligence. This is where we're talking about predictive maintenance, pattern detection, alert correlation, proactive asset lifecycle management, all the way through the entire lifecycle flow. And then the third tier, which is where we're moving to very, very quickly, is co-pilots. These are your virtual assistants, where your teams are using natural language queries for documentation, where you have an AI-augmented NOC or SOC within your organization. Lots of the partners I work with are scaling all 3 different tiers, but our goal today is to help move from tier 1 to tier 2 into tier 3. For example, this is Olivia. Olivia is not a real person. She's an example of your team's newest synthetic coworker, or digital worker, as we sometimes call them. She's still a member of your team, and she does the tasks that she's assigned to do. But her presence means that someone else isn't having to sit there and do that job. From an onboarding perspective, she can do a ton of different things. She can clone a Microsoft 365 user. She can assign available license. She can create a ticket in your PSA to document actions for your tech to review. Now imagine all of the different processes that you have within your business that require a large amount of human intervention, take time, and are repetitive. And now think about having 20 different Olivias on your team to help handle and do those tasks. So one thing I want to make sure I call out, every single thing that I talked about today is possible through the ConnectWise ASIO platform. We're seeing successful MSPs integrate digital workers into their everyday processes, and the results are extremely impressive. This is not something that's coming in 2026. It's not something that's coming in 2027. ConnectWise partners can do this today, and many of them are already doing it and having great success. For instance, this is the automated process flow from the digital worker, Olivia, who I introduced you to earlier. In this example, as I mentioned, partners are using Olivia to minimize their client onboarding time down to less than 10 minutes, saving them thousands of dollars in labor costs. I promise you, no one on your team likes to do client onboarding, but as you know, it's a necessary part of the job. It's repetitive, it's boring, it takes a long time, and when you start to add it up, it gets to be pretty expensive. This is one that can easily be automated and handled by a digital worker like Olivia. A lot of our ConnectWise partners aren't really aware that these processes and these solutions exist today within the products they have. You can be utilizing this exact functionality. Make sure to swing by the booth a little bit later on, and we will show you how. So we're already in the age of autonomous service. Let's go ahead and take that next step starting today. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.